Well, I remember I was at home in London watching it on TV, staying up way too late to watch him win US Open, and it was just such a great year for him because he'd come off the back of the Olympics, the final of Wimbledon where he didn't get over the line to then come through at the US Open just a couple of months later was massive, and then it sort of gave him that boost and the belief to finally win at Wimbledon as well. So I feel like it's just so cool to still see him playing out there, still enjoying his tennis and hopefully staying super healthy. That's my goal for him. I wouldn't say so. I think Andy's going to let us know whenever he wants to stop. He's worked so hard to be back on the court now that I can't imagine that the end is near, because he's put in so much graft, so much hard work to even be playing competitively that I'm sure he wants it to go on for as long as possible. Oh, well, I mean, the legacy for British tennis is huge. No one's had the results that he's had over the years. No one's inspired as many people as he has to pick up a racket, to want to compete at Wimbledon. And not only that, I think he's made people in the UK especially realise that tennis isn't just a 2-week sport. And they've watched him at the Australian Open in so many finals, at the US Open, at the Olympics. And it's just given people way more of awareness of how long the tennis season is, how much competitive tennis there is out there, and hopefully he can continue to keep that going, because I can't imagine him not playing. Yeah, Rodger's been my favourite player growing up, and still is basically. Every time I see him play, it just feels like a bit of an honour really, because he's so good at what he does, and I would love to see him back out on court. I know he's working really hard at the moment to come back for Laver Cup, hopefully playing not only some exhibitions this year, but yeah, I would just love to see him have one last go at it really, because it feels like you don't want him to end on an injury really, do you? I really have no idea. No one thought Rafa was going to come back and win the Australian Open the way that he did this year. So I think it's so up in the air for the guys. It just depends who can stay healthy. Obviously Djokovic hasn't had as many long-term injuries as the other guys, so he's definitely fresher. He's so flexible around the court that it's hard to imagine him getting injured anyway. So yeah, he could be the one to finish with the most, but I think Rafa would probably have something to say about that. But either way, that all those top guys are just incredible, and they're definitely the big three for a reason. Well, I mean, Rafa's another one who sort of transcends the sport, like Federer does, like Djokovic does. I mean, all of those guys, they've won so much in their life that it's hard to imagine anyone coming through and being able to do what they've done on the tour. So I think Rafa is just one of the best competitors the game has ever seen. We see him time after time be injured, still manage to find a way through, like he did in Australia, like he did at Roland Garros as well this year. So unfortunate that he had to retire in the semis at Wimbledon, but I think I've seen videos of him back on court, so he's definitely gearing up for US Open. I change my mind all the time, honestly. They're all incredible, and I think when you start comparing and trying to break down numbers, everyone's played their best tennis on different surfaces, so for me I think it's impossible to decide. I think there's a few. Obviously Alcaraz is already up there. Yannick Sinner, another one. On the British side, Jack Draper is playing incredibly well, and if he's able to stay healthy, then he's definitely one that can push through. He's got such a huge game. But on the guys, there's many young guys that are looking to break through. Felix, Auger Aliassime. I've got so many favourites that, to be honest, it's hard to pick a standout. But going purely on rankings, you would say Alcaraz.